Dear ladies, if you are in a love relationship, would you want to know which of the four types of men your man belongs to? If you are already married, would you still want to know which of the four types of men your husband belongs to? Do you want to have your doubts in your relationship resolved? For example, when you have children, you have aged, and you get out of shape, will your husband love you more or dump you for a younger, more beautiful woman, or he cheats on you? There are 7 parts in this video that briefly explains the 4 types of men who love their wives by Happy Thomas Esitan. Okay, part 1, the 3 objectives of this video. Part 2, the 4 types of men who love their wives. Now these are men who love their wives. Part 3, how to find out which type of man you have before committing to a long-term relationship. How to find out which type of man you have before committing to a long-term relationship. Part 4, sharing a personal experience on part 3. Part 5, how to find out which type during marriage from personal experience. Part 6, how to find out which type after our marriage ended from personal experiences. Part 7, moving forward, questions and answers. Part 1 of 7, the 3 objectives of this video. Objective 1 of 3, to differentiate the types of men who love their wives for you to understand and appreciate. Objective 2 of 3, how my wife and I identified which type I belong to before, during, and after our marriage. Objective 3 of 3, how you can use this knowledge to know yourself better. End of part 1 of 3, the 3 objectives of this video. Part 2 of 7, the 4 types of men who love their wives. The 4 types of men who love their wives. The Art of Happiness, of Meaningfulness to Happiness by Happy Thomas Esitan, dated 15 December 2019. Okay, type 1, they love their wives, but at the same time, it is their nature or habit to have one-night stands. Type 2, they are men who love all their wives. It is their nature or habit to start with one wife, followed by 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Type 3, they love only one wife. It is their nature or habit to always have one wife, so they marry one again when the first one dies. Type 4, they are men who love only one wife. It is a nature or habit to have only one in their lives, come what may. So when the wife dies, he doesn't marry anymore. No more wives for him. Okay, end of part 2 of 7, the 4 types of men who love their wives. Part 3 of 7, how to find out which type of man you have before committing to a long-term relationship. This means, before you get married, how do you know the one you are dating or you're going out with, what type of person he is? Okay, now different people have different ways to find out the actual type of man before they commit to their marriage. Some are known to resort to fortune telling and divine remedies. So they find out and they have ways to resolve those things they do not like. Some observe the behavior of the man. Some employ private detectives to see whether the man, how is he like. Some test the man by getting a friend or pay a professional to find out whether this person is loyal or not. Some checks phones, emails, text messages, social media accounts. Some do a combination of these, etc. etc. And of part 3 of 7, how to find out which type of man you have before committing to a long-term relationship. Part 4 of 7, sharing a personal experience of part 3. Now this is my personal experience. We decided to get married after about 8 years of courting. At the courting stage, my daily time spent was at work, at home, at judo class, or with each other, with her, of course. During the courting stage, we assessed our likes and dislikes, our strengths and weaknesses, our opportunities and threats. One of the things we did during our courting stage was expressing our thoughts on how we continue to love as we age. We realized that it was a fallacy to cling to the beauty of youth. Over the years, we saw growing beauty in each other as we aged. I love her more, even though she aged more. I was not this type. Type 1. They love their wives, but at the same time, it is the nature of habits to have one night stand. I can't do one night stands. We found out at this point I was not type 1 because in all the 8 years of courting, I was never diverted to any other person. However, we could not know if I would be part 2, 3 or 4 at the courting stage. We could only know after we got married. And of part 4 of 7, sharing a personal experience on part 3. Okay, more experiences. Part 5 of 7, how to find out which type during my marriage which type I was during marriage from my personal experiences. Okay, now what I believe was a true marriage is about wanting to share lives as husband and wife in ways that fulfill both material and emotional needs. I planned 2 main activities as follows during our courting stage. At work or at a community, activities that fulfill the material needs of our family. That means I work for money. In the community, I go shopping, buy stuff. With the family, activities that fulfill the emotional needs of my wife and children, my emotional needs, as well as the emotional needs of relatives. An example, one of the work activities involve work socializing in social clubs. That's one of the things that I do. A room and a young beautiful woman was arranged for me by the company. I knew I was not a type 1 because I didn't find any interest in this kind of arrangement. Due to similar experiences and activities at this point, I knew I was not a type 1. A type 1, they love their wives, but at the same time they have one night stands. Now I'm not this type. Or I'm not a type 2 too. They are the ones who love all their wives, and it's the nature to have more than one wife. That's why they have more than one wife. So end of part 5 of 7, how to find out which type during marriage from personal experiences. So when I was married, I found out I was not a type 1 and a type 2. Part 6 of 7, how to find out which type after our marriage ended from personal experiences. When I say personal experiences after our marriage ended, I mean after she passed away. Okay, type 1, they love their wives, but at the same time, it is their nature or habits to have one night stand. I don't do this. My wife died of illness in 2006. Now it's 2019. During all these years, I now know I'm not a type 1 because I do not feel right having one night stand. Even after she passed away. Type 2. There are men who love all their wives. It's a nature and habits to start with one wife. So they have a second wife and third wife. Now I find out I can't do that too. I know I'm not a type 2 because I do not feel right having more than one wife. Type 3. They love only one wife. It is their nature or habits to always have one wife, so they marry again when one dies. My wife passed away. I had relationship, but I couldn't love anyone. So I know I'm not a type 3 because after she left, I got to know of some good women. Somehow I do not feel any sexual or spousal love for them. Type 4. These are men who love only one wife. It's their nature or habits to have only one in their lives, come what may. That's me. I know I'm a type 4 because my heart is filled up with my wife in it. I don't have space for anyone else. End of part 6 of 7. How to find out which type after our marriage ended from personal experiences. Part 7 of 7. Moving forward. Questions and answers. In the best of situations, your husband meets your expectations. However, what do you do if your husband does not meet your expectations? My answer, one of two. Now, a true marriage is about wanting to share lives as husband and wife in ways that fulfill both material and emotional needs throughout their lives from the day they got married till one of them leave this world. My answer, two of two. So, it makes sense to review and respect yourself by honoring your marriage vows with your husband. When you're able to do this, your expectation will be met or exceeded. So as I was saying earlier, what if it doesn't meet expectation? Do this too. Okay, end of part 7 of 7, moving forward, question and answers. If you have questions, more questions, you may want to inquire at Happy Thomas Isitan, how to create happiness at gmail.com. My phone number is this 016 288 2011. Bye bye.